Hi everyone, I'm Naomi and this is video 3 of the Yoga for Beginners series that I'm sharing with you. And today we're going to talk about balance. Why balance? Well, balance is pretty fundamental to anything that you're going to come across in yoga. It's sort of one of the hallmarks of yoga is figuring out those complementary opposites that come together to create a more supportive and connective whole, right? Or union, which is that big feature in yoga that we're talking about a lot. But balance also is one of those qualities that as we get older starts to diminish. So figuring out how to become more steady, even when we're in wobbly situations, is not only good for our bodies, but it's also a life skill. So super important. So balance today. So you're going to come onto your hands and knees to start. Now I'm going to grab a blanket just to give my knees a little bit more support. If you want more support, you can grab a blanket as well or fold your mat over. But come onto your hands and knees in table pose. Place your hands as wide apart as your shoulders and your knees as wide apart as your hips and curl your toes under. Okay, now, tendency in table is to just sink down and let your belly soften, your low back arch, upper back get heavy, much like cow pose, right, in cat-cow. Instead, lift up through your core a little bit. So you're not rounding, you're not over-rounding or tucking. You just want to have a uniform engagement through your center. Now keep that engagement and just lift your right arm straight out in front of you. Okay, and place your right hand down, left arm straight out in front of you. Place your left hand down, left leg straight back behind you with your foot away from the floor. Bring your left knee back down, right leg straight back behind you. Bring your right knee back down. Okay, now right arm straight forward, left leg straight back. And give your arm and your leg like a squeeze towards the center. Okay, as though there were magnets on the insides of your fingers and the inside of your big toe. And they're pulling across your body inward. Okay, now lower your knee and lower your hand. Do the same with the other limbs. Lift your left arm first. And then your right leg back. Now the tendency is for both to go wide. Squeeze both in. Like you're pulling towards the center of your body, because you are. But creating more power in the central core instead of in the periphery. Okay, full breath in here. You should feel a lot of work in your abdominal muscles. Full breath out. Place your hand and knee down. Okay, now make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, lift your right arm straight up. And then extend your right leg straight back. So instead of squeezing in across arm and leg, you have to squeeze in the two halves. And I'm dropping my hand a little bit. It's hard work. Just like in dog, press your fingers firmly into the mat. Keep your belly lifted, your sense of humor intact, and then lower everything down. Let's try the other side. Okay, left arm up. You're going to shift over to your right a little bit. That's fine. Try not to shift too much as your left leg goes up and squeeze everything in. So you're going to lean a little bit, no problem. Your left fingertips might come down from time to time, no problem. Keep your feet active, your fingers active, all 10 of them. And then lower everything down. And shake it out, because it's a lot of work for your upper body too. And what you want to think about when you're engaging inward is this. And you can, if you have a block, you can grab a block. I'm going to move this blanket out of the way. Grab the block, put it in between your thighs. And then bring your feet to about hip width apart, even if that means that you have to get a little bit tighter. And squeeze your block as tightly as you can. You know, once you have that good squeeze, you should feel a lot of power concentrating not only in between your legs where the block is, but up into your belly. Okay, you should feel the inseam of your legs, from your big toes all the way up through your inner thighs, really active. And you should even feel like your low back is a bit more stable. Okay, let go completely, block won't drop. Let go and just notice how that feels. Like all of your muscles kind of relaxed, everything kind of saggy. Nobody really wants to be saggy, ever. But there's just a difference between engaged towards the center and letting it all hang. Okay, so your action to find more balance is to engage towards the center, but also to stretch out with equal power. So here's how to find that. Take your arms up, interlace your fingers, spin your palms towards the ceiling. Squeeze the blocks, you feel your butt cheeks squeeze a little bit, and then Stretch down through your legs and up and out as though you're trying to grow taller. Full breath in. And exhale, stretch over to the right. Keep squeezing your block. Inhale, come on back up and go to your left. Now if you stop squeezing the block, notice that this whole left side of your body gets a little bit crunchier. Squeeze your block in again and stretch out more evenly, and it should feel more spacious and less crunchy. Inhale, come on back up and release your arms. Okay. So now that you have a sense of what I call squeezing towards the midline or firming up your connection to your core, now that you have a sense of how to do that with the block, let's try without and balancing on one leg. So bend your right knee slightly. Okay, just tiny, tiny bit. Then turn to the side, it's like really tiny, so it's not a deep bend, a little bend. Okay, shift your weight into your right leg, lift your left heel up, and lift your left knee up. Just left knee. Spread the toes of your left foot, and your hands go to your hips, they have something to do. Spread the toes of your left foot. You can give it circles if you want. You do this just to find where's midline, where's the action, how am I engaging? And if I lift the inside edge of my foot, I start to fall to the right. So lengthen up. And then put your left foot down. Wiggle it out. Stand on your left foot. Lift your right heel. So we call this a Barbie foot. Using the royal we. I call it a Barbie foot. I have teachers who call it Barbie foot also. It's very technical, ancient Sanskrit Barbie foot. Okay, so you're pressing into your foot, but your heel is up. And that's just telling you that your left leg is about to bear weight. Okay, now once you have that weight in your left leg, without locking your knee, lift your right knee up. Now with your right knee lifted, spread the toes of your right foot so your foot is active, so it's not just hanging out. Active, and extend down through your left leg and up through your spine, like you did when your arms were up. And in fact, stretch your arms up. Just feel. Full breath in. Hands to your hips, right foot down. Okay, now we'll add to that just a little bit. Okay, so coming up to the front of your mat, turn to that shorter edge, hands to your hips. Stand on your left leg, like you were just doing. Lift your right leg up. Okay, spread your toes so your foot is really active. Inhale as you lengthen up, and as you exhale, extend your right leg straight back and your chest forward. Press the inside edge of your right foot and squeeze your legs towards one another like you did in that table pose. Woo. And you might lose your balance, particularly if there's like a leaf going up your nose. That could happen. And then come all the way back up, bring your knee up, and then put it down. I'm going to step back a little bit so I'm less enmeshed in my beautiful green plant. Okay, stand on your right leg. Barbie foot your left foot. Don't lock your right knee, so stay steady through your right leg. Lift your left knee up. Hands to your hips. Now, another option is palms in front of your chest, or if you're feeling extra bold, arms up alongside your ears. Okay, palms in front of your chest is a good place to play if you're not really sure yet about your balance. Now keep extending down through your right leg, core engaged, just like it was in the table version. Extend your leg back, straight back, and your chest forward, and try to lengthen it back through your leg as you pull your chest forward. Okay, take a full breath in, full breath out, wobble just like I am, totally fine, and then come all the way back up, knee up, and put it down. Okay? Now, before we add on to that, fold forward, give your knees a little bend, step your right leg back into a lunge. You know, before you go lift your arms away from the floor, squeeze your legs inward. Okay, so imagine that block is still there in between your thighs and squeeze your legs inward. Now keep that good squeeze and lift your hands up to your hips. Okay, once your hands go to your hips and you have that good squeeze, arms go up. Okay, if your legs are not engaged, it's going to be really wobbly, but if you squeeze your legs and squeeze your arms towards the center and stretch up and out, it'll feel pretty powerful. Lower your hands to the floor, then step into your forward bend. Full breath in. Step your left leg back. Same thing here. Squeeze your legs towards the center. Now it's not enough to just squeeze, because that's tightening your muscles. Try to stretch them. So reach back through your left leg, forward and down through your right, and lift up. Ta-da! Arms up maybe. Hands at your hips. Palms together. Also, totally cool. Totally fine. Okay, but that squeeze and the stretch, squeeze and stretch is what you're after. Lower your hands to the floor, step up. Come back up to stand. And so hopefully you can feel, hopefully you can feel that pulling in and stretching out is actually what gives you balance, not one of them or the other, both together. So remember yoga, balance, complementary opposites, seeking to create a more unified whole. So we'll add that all together in a transition from Warrior 3 into that Warrior 1 variation, which is sometimes called crescent pose. So coming up to the front of your mat, one more time. Bring your palms together. I'm going to back away from my plant again, wisely. Inhale fully. And just exhale, release your arms. Stand on your right leg, press through the inside edge of your right foot, left knee up. Okay, take a full breath in, and as you exhale, shift your left leg back, bend your right knee, and extend it back through your left leg. Now you can reach your arms out if you like, or keep your palms together. Take full breath in, squeeze your legs in. As you exhale, step it back, so you stretch back. Okay, squeeze your legs in, palms together, and stretch out through your left leg, down through your right, arms up triumphantly. Notice, see, my foot is still wiggling, but my muscles are engaged towards the center. Okay? And then don't worry about coming back up, just step. Second side. Barbie foot your right leg. Stand steady on your left without locking your knee. Inhale, right knee up. Exhale, push down, make your left leg longer. Okay, now extend your right leg straight back. Bend your left knee to give you more balance and push back through your right leg. So you push back through your right leg, stretch your torso forward, and you can, if you like, reach your arms into the jungle. Otherwise, keep your palms together. Full breath in, keep squeezing in. Full breath out, stretch out, and then bend your left knee, step all the way back. Okay, squeeze your legs towards the center and push down through your front leg, back through your back leg, arms up. Inhale here. And exhale, lower your hands if you like, or push and step forward. Okay? So that's just a little balancing sequence that you sometimes see in yoga classes. The last one that I want to do, though, is tree pose, which is a fairly familiar standing pose. Now, there are a couple of things to know about tree pose. First, your foot can go anywhere except your knee. So you're going to stand on your right leg to start. You can slide your heel to your ankle. You can slide your heel to your shin, or you can pick up your foot and bring it all the way up to the top of your thigh. Now, if that doesn't work, don't go putting it on your kneecap, because that's just going to push into your knee and create damage where you don't want it. So foot up at the top of your thigh, palms together, and squeeze. Press your heel against your inner thigh, your thigh against your heel, and wobble a little. Whee! It's okay. Whee! I mean, the stakes are pretty low, right? I'm standing on a leg. It's not a big deal if I lose my balance. Now, if you struggle with balance, you can grab your good friend, Ms. Chair, and you can use the chair to help you balance. You can have it out in front of you. You can use a wall too, but this is going to work for us today. So, stand on your left leg, right leg goes up this time. And I'm using the chair to lean into so that I can bring my foot up and get my butt out of the way. And that might enable me to get my foot up to the top of my thigh if I couldn't before. You can still put your foot on your shin. And if your foot's on the floor, that's going to give you the most stability. Okay, so lots of options. But I can lean into the chair as I bring my foot all the way up. And then once I get up, I can straighten up, squeeze my legs in, and use the chair to give me confidence to take my hands off. Okay? So, bam. So having a chair like this can be a really nice way to make balance a lot more accessible, particularly if it's something that you struggle with from time to time. We'll put that chair away. Oops, there we go. All right. So tree pose, one more time on both sides. Stand on your right leg, Barbie foot your left. Pull your foot either to your ankle, to your shin, all the way up to the top of your thigh. You can keep using the chair if you liked it. I like it. Squeeze your legs inward so you feel this great strength in your upper inner thighs. Palms together. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. And you want to give yourself a good point of focus. So in Sanskrit it's called a drishti, but a point of focus is really just a place out in front of you that you can bring your concentration to so that you're not like distracted and looking around. And looking around is going to pull you off your axis and maybe make you fall. But if I'm staring at one thing, I get a lot steadier. Arms up, maybe just for fun. And then bring your palms back together, put your left foot down, switch sides. Stand on your left leg, Barbie foot your right foot, try not to lock your knee. You lift your right foot, so you slide your heel to your shin, heel to your ankle rather, heel up to your shin, or foot up to the top of your thigh, palms together, and give yourself a really good point of focus. So once you give yourself that point of focus, it actually helps you squeeze your legs in too, but pull your left thigh towards your right heel, push your heel against your thigh. Complementary opposites, creating a more unified whole. Full breath in. Full breath out. And you can stay here or reach your arms up. Then bring your palms back together. Come on out. And come on back down to sit. Okay. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more insight on how to make balancing poses easier, right? How to transition into and out of balancing poses confidently and safely. Here are the big things to keep in mind. You want to squeeze inward, right? So you're pulling from your big toes in and up along the inseams of your leg towards the center of your hips, right? Like there's a magnet there, okay? You pull in from side to side, so you're feeling this good squeeze from all sides so you feel safe and stable. But it's not enough to just do that. You also have to stretch out from that place. So you have to use that power to lengthen yourself. So instead of staying really tight and confined, you want to make yourself longer, broader, more expansive. But you do it from strength instead of just like letting go. Okay? So complementary opposites. Balancing poses are all about complementary opposites. Right? Finding what actions support a more unified whole. The other piece that you want to remember, and this is just really specific, is inside edge of your foot. Ball of the big toe, inner heel. Right? Those are the places that you want to focus on so that you don't like wobble and tip out to the side. Okay, so inside edge of your foot. Root that puppy down. And that should make balancing a lot more accessible. Okay, maybe not easier at first, definitely more accessible. Do not be afraid to use props or the wall or whatever you need to make your balance feel more possible until your muscles are ready to support you even more. So thank you for hanging out with me again on this third day of Yoga for Beginners. I would love to hear your feedback about this video and the previous two, how they have helped you, or if you want more information, because I really want to give you as much information as you need. And I would love to hear how these balancing poses are working out for you now that you have a little bit more insight on how to support yourself in them more safely and more confidently with more skills. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye, and I will see you tomorrow for day 4. Thanks again for being here. See you later.